We've known for almost a year now that Andrew Cuomo has botched the coronavirus response worse than any other governor. Well, that is, if you've been watching the real news. If you've been checking out investigative journalism from ProPublica or watching us here at The First, you've known that. But now the mainstream media is just waking up after the New York Times called Cuomo the control freak that we need right now, and cable news lauded him endlessly to own Trump. They now can't look away. New York State Attorney General Letitia James has finally unveiled a report pointing out the obvious, that Cuomo botched the nursing home pandemic. She pointed out that, as we've all suspected, as Fox News meteorologist Janice Dean has been railing about since March, that coronavirus deaths in nursing homes were vastly undercounted. Contrary to the sub 10,000 number of deaths that Cuomo claimed, it's actually upwards of 12,000 at minimum. And this is all in part because of his disastrous nursing home mandate. How does CNN's Chris Chiliza address this? Quote, Andrew Cuomo's COVID-19 response was less stellar than it seemed. Less stellar than it seemed. You're saying having the fact that if New York were a state, it would have more coronavirus deaths per capita than any other country? The fact that New York State had more nursing home deaths, vastly more than Florida, even though Florida has a vastly higher proportion of seniors. Are we also talking about the fact that even though Florida and Ron DeSantis were decried as taking gambles with human lives, Florida actually has a little more than half the amount of coronavirus deaths per capita? It's time to wake up and realize that the Cuomo obsession was all about the narrative to own Trump. The left needed a foil to Trump's response to the coronavirus, which wasn't perfect, but he wasn't the one forcing the nursing homes to admit COVID-19 positive patients. Trump wasn't the one who allowed endless travel out of New York, letting New York become the main vector of the coronavirus. Trump wasn't the one who allowed the MTA to continue full operations. That was Andrew Cuomo. That wasn't even Bill de Blasio, who shockingly, despite being the worst mayor in America, manages to be slightly less awful than the worst governor of America. Andrew Cuomo was never a hero. It's just that the media is deciding to finally notice that. I wonder what his next book will be. Hopefully he doesn't get an Oscar for that.